Let's talk about what's going on in this country. I'm looking at a price-earnings ratio of the S&P, and it climbed up over the summer, trailing earnings to over 20, and we're still sitting there. Do you think that equities here are fully valued or maybe even overvalued?
I think in general, the market is very toppy. What we're noticing is there's relatively little growth in demand for physical product, and almost nobody has any kind of pricing power. That's not a good formula for earnings growth. Where the earnings growth has mostly been coming from is through cost savings. But at some point, you run out of that. At some point, you just can't cut costs anymore, and therefore you ultimately need pricing power and physical volume growth. And I think that's what's really lacking in today's world. So we have been net sellers for the last 18 months to a very, very large degree.
And of course, that's a criticism levied against the central banks that all this easy monetary policy hasn't done much to lift aggregate demand. So does this make it harder for the Federal Reserve to raise interest rates come December, as so many people expect them to do?
I think they should raise them. In fact, I think they should have raised them already, but for a very different set of reasons. First reason is, if all that's keeping our economy together is 25 basis points, we got nothing going on anyway. So I think it's ridiculous to make such a big to-do out of a 1/4% potential increase. And I believe that the dithering over it has created so much market uncertainty, both about interest rates and, more importantly, about the direction of the economy, that dithering has done far more damage than 25 basis points would. My second reason is that we, at some point, probably within the next 18 months, are likely to go into a recession, especially, frankly, if you have Hillary Clinton elected and she increases taxes. But with or without that, we have a great risk of going into recession. The Fed's toolbox is basically empty. They need to replenish that toolbox in order to have a way to help if and when we get into this recession that I see in the next 18 or so months.